Hi, my name is Freddie, and I am a person in recovery. Originally found remedy therapy after my experience with a different therapist didn't end up working out too well. And it's pretty much been like a light and day experience. The prior therapist, was mostly focused on how much money it was, and it almost seemed like pulling teeth in order to actually get the services that I needed. Whereas with Remedy, I've been introduced to several, caring people who truly want what's best for me. I originally heard about Remedy Therapy from the website for my current insurance provider. I wasn't completely sure how I wanted to proceed after the previous experience. So I started looking around, and I looked up. I was trying to check into like EMDR therapy due to the traumatic experiences that I had had. When I got to the Remedy Therapy website, it was very welcoming, and it really helped me feel like I was making a right decision and investing further into my mental health recovery. I personally believe in therapy because for a long time I was completely against the idea because of the way that I was brought up. At 2 years abstinent from drugs and alcohol, I found myself, constantly thinking suicidal thoughts and getting to a place where I was no longer happy about even possibly being alive. Shortly afterwards, I was introduced to the first gentleman who became my therapist, and it was just great to have an unbiased view, and it was definitely great to have like somebody who was, outside of the picture that I regularly see, because my family, we don't really talk about mental health issues. We don't talk about emotions for the most part. It kind of enabled me to understand that emotions shouldn't be treated like a plague anymore. That it should be that something like, even as a man, that I am allowed to experience, and that I need to constantly keep in mind that it is just a part of the human experience. With all that's going on with the coronavirus and the isolation, for me, I'm definitely even more of an advocate for people to seek help and actually to try to break away from their prejudices about what therapy and what mental health and psychiatry, all of that looks like. Because, for me, I was one of the few fortunate people who was able to continue to work while the coronavirus was happening. And I worked from home, and slowly but surely I found myself getting depressed again, feeling alone. Some people, like, I'm able to do fine with isolation for a little while, but after several months I just found myself just feeling like I had no real joy in life. It was pretty much a constant repetition over and over again. And it literally got to the point where I would just go around and drive and stay in my car just so I can feel like there's something outside of my home. I know there's a lot of fears and worries, but if you're somebody like myself, I not that I'm not worried about coronavirus, but I am much more concerned about deterioration of my mental health, and what that could possibly lead to if I don't take care of it right away. My previous experience with the therapist I had prior to coming to remedy therapy was very different, and it almost felt like somebody who was more concerned with a check than they were about actually helping others. For me, getting the opportunity to be in recovery, I understand how important it is that when you're helping others, that it comes from the heart. When I started working with her, all it just felt weird, and it almost felt like it made me feel discouraged about actually opening up. Before I knew it, all the progress that I had made in regards to becoming more vulnerable and allowing myself to be more open and truly addressing what was going on in my mind, all of that kind of started to go backwards. When I first started with remedy therapy, I started with just coming here for the therapeutic services, and very quickly I found myself also wanting to see the psychiatrists that they have here. Brittany and Josie are like a dynamic duo for me. I don't know if I would have made as much progress without the two of them working together and helping me. And it feels completely different in regards to the fact that the people who are working here, it feels more like it's not something that they're just doing it just during 9 to 5, and then after that not thinking about how they can help other people. It feels more like it's something where they constantly try to figure out how they can help others, especially somebody who's a difficult case, I would say, like myself, because for the most part, I quite honestly need help in regards to even figuring out exactly what the labels are to the emotions that I'm feeling, much less being able to understand or acknowledge when I have anxiety, or when my depression is getting out of control, or, when it is that I'm having a manic episode. Things like that are very foreign to me. And slowly but surely, I'm starting to make progress in those arenas as well.
Thank you for your interest in remedy therapy. We hope you enjoyed this video. If you're interested in discovering more or would like to schedule an appointment, head over to our website at this link. Thank you, and hope to see you soon.